Levels.
Levels. Try that one. Yeah.
Levels.
Turn the dial. It's the same levels.
Huh.
Is this dial hooked up? No. It's just there to make you feel better. All right.
Get a letter from a lady in Germany.
Hey, I was all worried about witchdoctor.com screwing up some podcast players, and it turns out that our problem in last week's episode, it was In Vogue that did us in.
Oh, I get news for them. In Vogue is never going to get us.
Don't stop now. That's enough. And I see your movie. Do not play it.
Oh, I'm going to play it.
Net.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. We'll call it, I don't know, what, 6, 7? On what scale? Nobody knows. Sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
No, don't ask. Don't ask questions.
A little cold open follow up there.
Yeah. Do you want to peek behind the? We should have gotten Illegal Eagles involved in this one. Do you want to peek behind the curtain of what happened after last week's show was released?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if this is really,
actually,
or not, but I guess I put it under corrections because we had to make an edit to the YouTube release because the audio goes onto YouTube automatically. And then about 12 hours later, we got a note that it had been blocked. And I went, wow. Huh. Well, that's kind of odd. So I dial it up on Spotify. Nope, not blocked there. Dial it up on YouTube. No, it doesn't seem to be blocked there. It seems to be playing. So then I actually went to the email, at which point you and I started texting.
Yes.
And you said, oh, yeah, it's blocked.
According to YouTube, a copyright holder has made a claim against us. So this has been blocked in 2 territories. If you click on the link, however, it didn't immediately tell you what the territories were. And by the way, this is how this works. This was Thursday night, I believe. And we were both like, I don't know, somebody should look into that. And then we were like, it's, you know what? That's Todd and Dwayne tomorrow's problem. Not tonight. One of us tomorrow will deal with this.
Somebody should really get on that. Yeah. Tomorrow, yeah. Somebody should really get on that. So at some point on Friday, I actually clicked into it. The 2 countries that we were blocked in.
Yes.
Russia and Belarus.
Yeah. And the reason we were blocked for copyright infringement was
because I play a little snippet of In Vogue's Never Gonna Get It.
Yes.
Which has apparently been monetized by the copyright holder, but only in Russia and Belarus.
Big fans over there. Big fans.
Apparently. I think that there has been an erroneous copyright claim. If you really want to, I don't think that, I'd have to go back and look, but it was the
copyright holder who made the claim against us didn't seem to be pretty legit.
No, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, you do it everywhere. You don't just do it in Russia. And anyway, so I went over to YouTube and I had the option to drop in alternative royalty-free music over the top of it.
Oh, yeah.
So I did.
I mean, that's one way to go. The other way to go would be to say, just don't distribute this in Russia and Belarus. I don't think that would technically probably hurt much of our viewing or download numbers. Oh, well. Anyway,
If you're listening on YouTube, you got the alternative audio for Dwayne Guess a Number.
Yeah,
and you can hear that.
It was a Taylor Swift song, so I'll just wait.
You can hear that if you subscribe to our Patreon. Kidding.
All right. So what do we have for feedback this week?
Well, as long as we're in corrections.
Okay. We're gonna keep going. All right.
If you got, I'll just do them both at the same time because editing is hard.
Yes.
If you downloaded the audio quickly,
yes,
or automatically as soon as it dropped, you may have gotten Al Michaels on top of Al Michaels.
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels on top of Al Michaels.
Al Michaels.
Because there was some attempted editing to move some things around and make it seem like I actually knew what I was talking about. And then I said, screw it. What's in the show's in the show. And then I forgot to delete the edit.
I am
You're
blaming it on the edit.
Yes, I am, Rue. I am blaming it on the edit.
I can't believe that's made it to this show. He's blaming it on the edit. Wow.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Great. Now we're headed for another copyright strike.
I didn't sing it.
No, but I'm pretty sure that Rue trademarks, copyrights, service marks,
every phrase,
patents everything that she does. So we're in trouble.
Well, we better get to work. Should we go feedback? It's close. Should we go to feedback?
Don't fudge this up. All right.
Should we go to feedback, follow-up, and updates now?
Sure, let's do that.
Toddler number 1. I could write this show. Like, that's so cute. She thinks we actually write something. That she said, it's talking to idiots. And then about 15 seconds later, you got to talking to idiots. And I also got the same note from Doug. It's talking to idiots, the golf outing. And then right after that, Todd got there. I was too quick. Yep. And during the entire Royce White discussion,
yes,
Amy kept begging for me to play the theme, play the other theme, dump out of this, dump out of this, play the other theme. Eventually
and yet you were like this. Nope, watch this. I'm going to double down right here. Boom. Okay, now you can get out. Nope. Watch this. Hit me again. Double down. Let's go. Another round. Let's go.
According to Doug, Royce White has been the Russian nesting doll of content for y'all.
Yes, but people in Russia may not know that because they can't listen to us on YouTube anymore.
Our headline about which witch doctor and all of the witch doctor content.
Yes.
Toddler 401k was disappointed that we didn't break out into the ooh-ee-ooh-ah after all of the witch doctor talk.
Yeah, there was so many avenues. There was roads not taken there.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity there. And Greg, hi. Greg's birthday was last Friday.
Oh, happy birthday, Greg.
And his birthday wish was that I talk you into replacing Biden on the ticket.
Wait, me?
Yeah. I hereby nominate. I've got a petition to circulate if y'all want to go online and sign up.
Change.org goes, nah, I don't think so. No, I don't. Oh, yeah. That would certainly change the tone of this podcast.
All other theme all the time.
Hey, toddlers, listen, I'm going to be gone for about 4 years, but based off of the first book I read, let me tell you this. The West Wing is both scary accurate, and it's nothing like what Aaron Sorkin wrote. They're mean here. They're mean.
Are there walk and talks? Please tell me. Just let me know if there are walk and talks.
Somebody get me CJ. No? Hire somebody named CJ so that I sound like I know what I'm doing. Kevin, get on that.
Did you catch any feedback this week?
I did not. No.
Okay. Well, when it's 130 degrees out there, you hardly leave the house. So
yeah.
I do not, under follow up.
Yes.
I do not have any Royce White news.
I feel like there's followed by a but.
Nope.
That's it.
I think we're all winners this week.
Woohoo!
However, I do have This Week in Favre.
Uh-oh.
Brett Favre pushes to revive lawsuit against fellow Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe. This was just last week. Lawyers for Brett Favre have asked a federal appeals court to revive a defamation lawsuit that the former NFL quarterback filed against a fellow Pro Football Hall of Fame member, Shannon Sharpe, amid the backdrop of the Mississippi welfare scandal. And it goes into all of this. But Shannon told just conveyed the facts.
Yes.
On his show. And there you go. So we'll see how this works out.
I mean, one of the things I learned in my in college, in a couple of both a journalism class and a law class, undergraduate law class, was that the absolute defense against any libel or slander case is the truth. If what you said is the truth, it does not matter whether it harmed the person, because that is a defense. No, it's entirely possible that Brett may be trying to file his appeal with a specific judge in Southern Florida to see what the hell happens. But whoa, where'd that come from? Sorry, I don't. You're laughing too hard to play the other theme. Okay.
Oh, it's been a week. Oh, man. Did some things hit your feed this week on follow up?
Yes. So, as part of my ongoing coverage of floppy disk usage in the world,
yes.
Seriously, my news feed is so jacked covering. It's basically floppy disks, autonomous taxis misbehaving, and Brett Favre news. It is a hellscape over here. However, that's fine. That's what I do. So it turns out that there are still more floppy disks being used in what might be considered critical situations. So Germany has 4 F-123 frigates, which are ships with deck guns and can launch helicopters. These are the Brandenburg class ones. Their onboard data acquisition system runs on floppy disks. These systems are important. They control the frigates, including the power generation. So it controls the ability of the frigate to go anywhere. It runs not on the 3.5-inch floppies, and not on the 5-inch floppies. They run on 8-inch floppies. The big brother of the older brother of the 5 1/4, right? Like,
dang.
Yes.
That's frigate huge.
Oh, God, jeez. Why didn't you see that coming, Todd? I don't know. You should have. I
mean,
you
really should have seen that coming.
I mean, you didn't. Yeah, but why would you think that he would do that? I don't even understand. Anyway, I don't know. We should probably take this offline and do this in the recap at the end of the show. You got to be careful. Anyway, now, 2 things about this. Number 1, They're using 8-inch floppies to control these ships. How old are these ships? They were commissioned between 1994 and 1996. Wait a minute. Weren't these floppies already out of service by then? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, pretty much. So
Couldn't
brand new they were running floppy disks.
shouldn't they have been using like zip disks? Do you remember zip disks?
Oh yes. Oh, those things were awesome until they started clicking the click of death, and then it's time to go get a new disk and potentially a new drive. Here's the reason why they're still using them, though. Because there have been modern alternatives have been available for years, but the German Navy has determined that the reason why they're still using the floppy has to do with the fact that the established systems are considered more reliable than modern replacements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
So,
suppose more difficult to hack.
gotta go
If it ain't connected to the internet, you can't get to it.
That's a good point. That's a good. Like you gotta carry around like you're carrying around an iPad and a floppy drive. And you're like, I don't even know what this connects to. Like, I need I need like a serial to parallel to a USB A to a USB C. Wow.
Um, I think you're probably you're familiar with the phrase sneaker net?
Yes.
That's where you take
Take
something
the
and
disk and then walk it over to another computer. Yes.
yes. I learned a new one. This was a couple of months ago. I learned a related term.
Okay.
Uh, this was actually Lucas's girlfriend. She talked about having to deliver her rent check by hand, and she used the heel toe express.
I had not heard of that one.
I had not either. I thought
Huh.
it's similar to SneakerNet, but SneakerNet seems to be for shorter distances, whereas the heel toe express goes further
Mm,
away.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's the express
Buil-
line, so
yeah, building to building as a
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, there you go. In this week in floppies. Next week, an interview with Dwayne Elliott. Nope, that's not going to happen. Well, it could.
Why
AI.
did
Who
the
knows?
man throw the butter out the window? No. Why did the never mind.
All right. What else do you have in follow up?
So you remember a couple of weeks ago you said I said something about the king and I, and you said, "Oh yeah, the Richard Petty story."
Yes,
I
I like that one. Yes.
I did, yes, right. So it's taken me a couple of weeks, but I have come up with some songs from this musical,
Okay.
song titles, because you said another round of wedge.
Yes.
That's the first one. The first song is it opens with another round of wedge. My STP didn't come for free. Three widen the turn. Rubbin is racing. My son is a prima donna. That one is sung by the Dale Earnhardt character.
Uh, uh.
Darlington Strip. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Those are just some samples
Mm.
from The King and I, the Richard Petty story. It's coming soon. It's off, off Broadway. They may be workshopping it.
Be looking for that. With I do hear that it's both Tom Wopat and Paige Davis who might be working on that. So looking forward to the two of them getting back together again.
Um, also, the Beverly Hills Cop TV movie that you covered,
Yes.
Jerry Bruckheimer was a producer on that thing.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, that. Yeah. I guess. I guess that is one he can. That one he doesn't talk about that much. If I'm really clear. I I will say, however, in doing research for this, it turns out that wasn't a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
That was a pilot.
Oh,
They were pitching this as a new CBS procedural. So this was the spring of 2013, and because I thought when I saw it, I went, "Oh, there was a TV show, a TV movie," and then I looked at it, it was 44 minutes long, and I thought that was weird. And it turns out, yes, so it was a pilot. Um,
Are
they
are
what?
you sure this is CBS? Because that would, I mean, we're the target market for this, and that would put us at 43 10 years ago. Are we old enough to watch CBS?
Did you hear me say it was a crime procedural?
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
federal law; those are only allowed on CBS.
that's fair. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. Please, please,
Yes.
procedural.
Yeah. So, so they shot the pilot. They then
Seems a little drastic.
so they then take the it wasn't picked up, however. So the question is, why wasn't it picked up?
Yes.
According to Eddie Murphy, who was in the pilot, he
Okay.
said,
Yes.
okay. He explained this early in 2015. He said it, and then he followed this up in 2019. And he said the reason it didn't get picked up because everybody thought that I was going to be in the show because the lead was my son, and you're going to be in the show every now and then. They said, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, I need to get this right." The quote was, "And you're going to pop in every now and then," said the studio. Eddie Murphy says, and I was like, "I ain't popping in shit." Well, we ain't making this TV show then. It
Oh,
said, I was in the pilot, but they wanted me to be there every week. The pilot was really good. It tested, and they have these knobs where you turn if you like something or if you don't like something. And whenever I came on the screen, Axel Foley would come on the screen. They turned it and they literally broke the knobs on the thing. And it was like, damn, they breaking knobs. But but according to Eddie, the best part of the show, as far as the crowd was concerned, was Eddie.
yeah.
Now, unreliable narrator, not sure. Anyway, so it was a pilot. Eddie wasn't going to be there. Show not picked up. Now, the question then is, and this is kind of research that I do for this show. My thought was, well, this is the fall of 2013. What did CBS pick up instead? So new shows picked up by CBS 2013. Do you want to take a guess? From I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count 6 shows, including a mid-season, a designed mid-season replacement.
Uh, Blue Bloods was already waist deep by. They were probably already 3 or 4 seasons in by then. So Blue Bloods not on that list, right?
Not on the list.
Uh, NCIS New Orleans.
That came a year later because I looked up the wrong year. That came in 2014, and I had the list for 2014, and then I realized I screwed up the list and then had to go back. So you're off by a year.
Okay, but I was close there.
Yes.
NCIS Red, was that a thing?
I think you're getting the streams crossed there.
Isn't it all the same? Isn't it all the same? Hawaii 5-0?
Nope. That moved to a new time in 2013, but that was already out. You're never going to get this. I'm just here we go. Here's the list. We Are Men.
Nope.
Monday nights in the 10 p.m. time slot. Hostages, followed in mid-season by Intelligence.
Nope.
On Thursdays, following The Big Bang Theory, which you've heard of, The Millers.
Okay.
Followed by The Crazy Ones. And that represents and I screwed this. Oh, and then there on Saturday they had Comedy Time Saturday. And I screwed up the count because the way that they do this is shows in all caps means that they're new programs. the Tuesday night lineup was anchored by NCIS, which is in all caps, which was not a new show. So, by the way, people, listen. You gotta think about what you're doing here.
New shows in bold. Help me out here.
Something. Anyway, so there you go about Beverly Hills Cop TV pilot. More information than you ever wanted to know. And yet, I feel like there's entirely possible that next week we're going to have even more follow-up. But before we get to that, I think we're done with this week's follow-up.
I think so. It's probably...
What time is it? Game time!
Okay.
This video is no longer will be blocked in Cook County.
That's a territory. Let's see if it's Todd ought to know this week. Let's see if this theme gets blocked.
It's not fair to deny me all the cross I've been. I check it to me. You ought to know.
I think there may be some editing done in the next couple of weeks to shrink those down so that they last about 2 seconds, each of those. You'll still know what they are. Avid listeners, people who accidentally find this podcast regularly will recognize what we're talking about. Okay. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Sorrel Book.
Oh crap. Oh, I didn't know that this was a new game that we're playing. Said Todd gets his comeuppance. Okay.
So he played on Dukes of Hazzard.
Boss Hog,
right. A couple of years ago, we played a game, and I believe you saved it for my birthday, about how old Mr. Diabetes was.
Yeah, the Cocoon line.
Yes.
How old was Wilford Brimley?
Yes.
How old was Wilford Brimley when he starred in Cocoon as one of the old people? Yes.
Yeah. Actually, younger than Paul Rudd, and younger than us. Right. So
Yes.
that led me to, because something hit my feed this week that said Sorrel Book, when he started Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
Old guy, right?
I mean,
he was 49.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So using that as context.
Yes.
We're not going to play With Us, Not With Us, because all of these people are not with us.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you a name. And I want you to, and since we're both basically the same age.
Okay.
I mean, you're younger and less experienced than I am, as we all know. But were these people, when they started their career-defining role,
yes,
older than us or younger than us?
Than us now.
Than us now.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Alan Hale Jr., the skipper from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, he would have been younger.
He was 43.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. How about Jim Backus, who played Mr. Howell?
Ooh. See, now that one, is there a push on this? This one's going to be surprising regardless of what I pick. You know what? I'm going to say younger.
He was 51 when he started in that role. Let's stick with Gilligan's Island. How about Russell Johnson, the professor?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely younger. Yes, he was 40. Okay, a little further along into Jonathan Hillerman on Magnum PI.
As Higgins.
Yes, on Magnum PI.
I'd say younger.
48. Very good. Yes. Okay. Same Same kind of era, I suppose. Catherine Hellman, who played Grandma on Who's the Boss,
Oh, this one's close again. This
right?
one's super close. I'm gonna say younger.
Older. She was 55 when she started that,
Older, not by much.
but not by much. How about Dwayne on One Day at a Time? Pat Harrington Jr.
Oh, definitely younger.
Also, but not by much. 46.
Okay.
Um,
Hate to break it to you. 46 is actually that's a non-trivial amount of younger than we are. Okay.
oh, here's one. How about Red Fox
In Sanford and Son?
in Sanford and Son? Yeah, when Sanford and Son was on the air. Red Fox.
I'm going to say older.
He was only 49.
That's when they say it's the mileage, not the years.
I think that's fair. How about Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker?
I bet you know what? Just thinking about that when Archie Bunker started, younger.
When he started, he was 47. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. One more. Ma on the Waltons, Barbara Bel Geddes.
Got to be younger.
56.
Oh, okay.
You want to do two more? Larry Hagman from JR, who was JR in Dallas,
Oh, that feels younger. Yeah.
right? And his wife, Linda Gray.
Sorry, I'm doing some math. So carry the 6 and the fun. I'll say younger as well.
He was 47. She
Yeah.
was 38.
Yeah. So I didn't need to do that much math.
Didn't need to do that much math. Only if you were trying to figure out the difference there. Yes. Yeah. So younger or older. Of all of those people, I said most of them were not with us. Can you name the ones that still are?
You're assuming that I was paying attention to who you said. No idea.
Linda Gray. Linda Gray was the only one that's still with us. There you go. Let's see. I didn't bring anything else this week.
Yeah. Money or Nazis is pretty quiet. Probably won't stay that way.
I don't know. I haven't checked Twitter lately.
Yeah. Lisa and I were discussing some we were discussing how to had some errands to go run in Las Vegas at some point. And so we were talking about how to get places we needed to go. And at one point Lisa says, "Are we playing Vegas, not Vegas?" Yes.
I guess we are.
Yes, we are. Because technically everything we need to do is not Vegas. But we have to go to Vegas to not Vegas. Yes.
It's catching on. I'm telling you. Should we do some idiots?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. What you got?
So, you know what? College football's ramping back up again. So, we got some good stuff. Dwayne, when I say Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State University, does anything pop into your head?
Nope.
Let me ask you. Let me throw you this. How old was he? This is at an age. How old was he when he said his most famous quote?
35?
Nope. He was the coach best known for when somebody was asking about some screw up a player of his did. He said, "Stop talking about the kid. I'm a man. I'm 40. Ask me." I don't know if you remember that quote. It's great. You should really look at it. I'm a man. I'm 40. Okay. Thanks, coach. Well, this week he decided, he's like, you know what? That's been around for quite a while, about 16 years. It's time to refresh. It's time to refresh the gig. You know, you can't just play the hits. Once again, one of his players got into a wee bit of trouble. 2 weeks ago, the running back for the team who rushed for 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns last season. So
Decent.
important to the team.
Yep.
He got arrested, and he was charged for driving under the influence by a person under 21. So it was a double under, and transporting an open container of an alcoholic beverage, again by a person who is under the age of 21.
Not the only double he had that night.
Yeah. So he was asked about this at the Big 12/72 conference media day. And he allowed the running back to come to the media day, and he explained that the 20-year-old should have a chance to own up to things. And then as the Los Angeles Times column says, and then the 56-year-old kept talking. So here's Gundy. Quote, so I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Okay, mind you, the kid's 20. And he's now trying to lawyer up on whether he was drunk or not. Okay, not a good start, Mike.
He's 20. The legal limit is 0.
0, yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
So I looked up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma, it's 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up and I thought, really? 2 or 3 beers or 4? I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought, I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And you know what? It was just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. Which part of that do you think went viral?
I've done that maybe 1,000 times.
Yes. That caught people's attention.
I bet.
Yes.
Is he still coaching at Oklahoma State?
Oh, God, yes. It's not like he lost a football game. So,
well, in that, yes, that's fair.
Later that day, he took to Twitter to clarify his comments. Quote, my intended point today at Big 12 Media Days was that we are all guilty of making bad decisions. It was not a reference to something specific. You mean like you driving drunk like 1,000 times and getting lucky? Yeah. By the way, also, that was the whole idiot part. But then to go, maybe he misspoke. He's the running back's not suspended at all for anything. Nothing. And this is what the coach said. People have said, is he playing in the first game? Yeah, he's playing in the first game because that's what he does, okay? He needs to take care of his business. I'm not going to seclude him and not play him in the game. I understand the severity of the situation. I know this. Is suspending him for 1 game really going to matter? I don't think so. Now, you want to suspend him for 6 games, maybe. Maybe I'll do that. But then I don't think it's fair to everybody else on our team, and I have to take that into consideration.
Oh, sweet Lord.
But
I'm
not gonna
so
suspend him.
glad you cleaned that up, Mike.
Hardest job in the state of Oklahoma. PR person for Oklahoma State football. Can you clean that up? What? How do I start? Wait, no. Can I sue the paper for libel? You said it. Favre says I can sue. Anyway, there you go.
I have a nephew that goes to Oklahoma State. I can't wait to talk to him about this. No, I didn't see any of this. Oh my God.
You know what? The perfect time to be talking to him about it would be over a couple of beers. Todd, he's only 20. And
it apparently doesn't matter down there.
Invite the coach over. He's done it 1,000 times. He can drive. How about you? What'd you bring?
So, you're a Tour de France guy.
Tour de France. Yes.
That thing, the bicycle race that's in France.
Yeah. That little bicycle race. Yeah.
It's not a
Which
ride.
is different than Ragbri.
Yes.
Oh, the race in Iowa, that's a ride.
That's
the Tour
a ride.
de France ride, that's a race.
Yes. Don't confuse the two. However, I watched some video. One of the things that always drives me crazy, and maybe you can comment on this in 50 words or less, one of the things that always drives me crazy is how close the crowd gets to the writers
Yes, absolutely.
constantly. Like, do you people not have any boundaries? Or,
Common sense.
yes. The F1 drivers are expected to adhere to track limits. Bicycle riders in the Tour de France, did I say that right?
Yes, you did, Bob.
Thanks. That's funny. The um so Julian Bernard, who's from France,
We.
riding, gets into town and the crowd just converges on him to the
Yes.
point where he can't hardly move. And then in the middle of this crowd is his wife and son. And he stops and kisses his family before then riding on.
Yes.
Do you know what happened next?
He was fined by the organizers, I believe.
Yes, $223 for unseemly or inappropriate behavior during the race and damage to the image of the sport. I'm here to tell you that others, I was going to make a bald joke here, but I didn't. Others have caused more damage without fines than this heartwarming moment on a leg that absolutely did not matter. He is not in contention. It doesn't matter. And it was an absolute feel-good moment in the middle of a crowd that was crushing in on him anyway, and he couldn't move. And yet the UCI says, no. Hand over that $223. I thought this was the stupidest thing I saw this week. Todd?
Here's the thing. Stupid. Absolutely. Itty bitty fine. Yeah. It's one of those that it's like you feel like the Tour de France organizers got more publicity about the bike race is going on right now from the guy being fined than it was worth it in publicity alone that they should reimburse him the money for. Yes.
I have to say, I knew it was coming up, but I didn't really know whether or not it had started or where they were until this thing hit my feed.
But problem solved. There you go.
Yep.
I will also say, if they're concerned, what did they say about the reasoning?
Unseemly or inappropriate behavior during the race and damage to the image of the sport. That's a direct quote.
I'm just going to throw this out. Tour de France coverage in the United States used to be on Outdoor Life, and then we went to NBC Sports. NBC Sports is gone, so it's on Peacock. If you go to Peacock, you can watch the full live coverage with Phil and Bob Roll, or they now just have a highlights package, or you can also watch a daily podcast with 3 former Tour de France participants. The headliner is Lance Armstrong commenting on that day's Tour de France. And when Lisa said, "Is that a joke?" Now,
speaking of inappropriate behavior, yes.
Bringing the sport into disrepute, or what? You got Lance explaining, well, this is how I would do it. How many syringes, Lance? Anyway, sorry. You can't get sued for libel for the truth. Okay. So anyway, yes, apparently Lance is in better standing with the Tour de France than the guy riding in it who kisses his wife in nominally his hometown. Understand this, though. Formula One's going to look at that and go, oh, we can top that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
yeah.
drivers get out of the car and run over and hug all of their team afterwards. And when Formula One finds you, it's like a 30,000 euro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you know it. You know you've been fined when F1 finds you. But they make so much money, they have to fine them that much to get their attention.
Yes.
Bicycle riders make no money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Yep. So have you been watching Tour de France?
Yeah, so we've been watching the nightly recaps. Speaking of no editing, they used to, when it was on cable TV, they would do a 4 to 5 hour live every morning starting at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yep.
And I will admit there were times when early on in U.S. Postal, when Lance was at the top before we knew all of that, there were legs I would get up for in the morning to watch because it's like, this is going to be massive. Then at night, they would do like an hour and a half with a second crew. The second crew was also commentating during the 5 hour thing to tape. And they would just take like an hour and a half and make it a different broadcast so you could see the interest. Because to be honest, in a 5 hour bicycle race, there's not 5 hours of exciting stuff. However, that's all gone now. What they do is they just take the main broadcast and somebody, and it might be the Zencaster AI, just goes through and edits down the broadcast. And it's over because literally they're showing something and somebody's talking and he will be staying yellow for the next 3 days. Boom, black, ends. There's no transitions. It just jump cuts from scene to scene. You have no idea. Like, guy speeding down the mountain, jump cut. He's now climbing up a mountain. How many hours is this? Where are we? Nobody knows. So we've been watching that. Saturday we actually watched the last 3 mountain climbs live. And then the other thing that we've been watching is up until Sunday, there was quite a lot of football on. So
Yes.
we were watching the Euros and then the Euro final on Sunday. And I watched, the only Copa that I watched was the US, whatever that they were doing. And then I watched the Copa final.
An hour late.
90 minutes late. Yeah. Just as much football as I watch, Central and South American football is not a style of football that I enjoy watching. So I skipped most of the Copa, but I did watch the finals. So we've been watching football, bicycling, and football. Lisa has thoughts, and she's being a very good sport about watching all of this. But last night she was like, "There's no sports on." I'm like, "No, it's not." And she's like, "Oh, thank goodness." Yeah.
America's Cup's coming.
Oh, it is. Crap! I gotta put that on my calendar. All right, how about you? What are you watching?
Do you remember Royal Pains?
Did he come in second in the 1986 championship and the champion at Troon?
Yes, he beat Colin Montgomery because everybody beats Colin Montgomery. I want to go live with Colin Montgomery because he doesn't beat anybody unless it's Ryder Cup, and then he beats everybody. No, this was a show that I think it was on USA. I don't know. It's now on Netflix, and I needed to not think about much of anything. So Amy and I started watching it, and it's a doctor goes to it's a concierge doctor in the Hamptons, beautiful people, and half the time he's MacGyvering a straw to save somebody's life with chewing gum and don't think too much about it. It's kind of humorous.
Macgyver meets Northern Exposure meets what show takes place in the Hamptons? I don't know. Anyway, okay, I lost it. Go ahead.
No, you're pretty much, yes. Yep.
Meets the Kennedys. I understand.
Meets, yeah.
They're
yeah.
Massachusetts, not Long Island, but
Yeah.
that was what I came up with. All right.
Like the OC, because it's all beautiful people, except in the Hamptons. Yeah. It's a Northern Exposure. Yes. Yeah. Meets MacGyver, meets the OC in the Hamptons. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, did you learn something this week?
Yeah. So for Christmas, the house gift that we got for us, we got a Breville espresso maker steamer so that we could do like lattes and stuff at home. And it sat in the box for like a week after Christmas. And then we get the whole thing out and I look at the quick start guide and I'm like, okay, 6 simple steps. And an hour and a half later, I have some really bad tasting coffee. So tried it a couple of times and it's just this production. And it's just like, this is just, this is not working. And like in the morning, like you want to get up, like we've got a pod coffee maker. It's much easier to throw the pod in and hit like, okay.
Right.
So it's been sitting on our counter looking very nice, but not being used probably since the beginning of January. Finally, we're like, we need to use this thing. So last weekend I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. And the first time I did it wasn't great. But I didn't have to look at the chart. Like I didn't have to look at all the steps. Yes, the coffee's not bad. The next day I do it again. Oh, I'm getting faster. Okay. So by the 4th day now, like, I can turn this out pretty quick. I'm making significantly less of a mess. Lisa's like, this is getting to be really, really good. And then I showed her like one day, she's like, how do you do this? So I showed her and she's like, okay. Oh, she's like, that's not that difficult. And then last night we watched, it was going to be, we finally used our coffee maker after 6 months and I learned how to use it and we're making really good coffee. But then last night we said, hey, now that we're using this, we should, if you want to make a latte, you need to froth the milk, right? You gotta steam the milk.
Yeah.
And there's a technique to it. And I had a technique, but we should watch a video on how to steam milk. And then we watched an 18-minute video on how to steam milk. And I learned all sorts of stuff about the temperature of milk and what the bubbles should come first, then spinning the milk. I was spinning the milk, then the bubbles. I was doing it all wrong. And then we watched another one that said, we'll introduce you to your coffee machine. And it's like, oh, you have a cup warmer on it. And I'm like, I didn't know that. You don't have to hold this thing in. You just pick the grind that you want and you tap it and it will automatically do that. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's way easier.
Yeah. Holy crap. Why didn't anybody tell me this? So between the two videos, what did I learn? I learned 10 more tips of how to use the coffee machine that right up until that point, I was getting kind of cocky because I'm like, I know how to use this. This is getting pretty good. Oh, I don't know anything at all. Anyway, so the good news.
Dunning-Kruger strikes again.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So the good news is though, that we are now every morning, lattes are being produced here in the house, which is also a good thing. Because if you go to Starbucks, our current drink, I think, is $6.50 for a medium vanilla latte.
Uh-huh.
So while this is an expensive coffee machine, if you start making 2 a day, ROI on this thing isn't that bad. But the trick is you have to start using it. ROI sucks if it just sits there. How about you? What did you learn?
I was listening to the What a Day podcast.
Okay.
And they let me know that Redbox is shutting down this week.
Yes.
And I went, Wait, Redbox is still a thing? I thought they had shut down years ago. What I learned this week was that Redbox was still a thing and that it's now shutting down. Well, now where am I going to go rent my DVDs and not return them? I don't know.
To be clear, floppy disks on German naval ships lasted longer than Redbox.
The music you're bobbing your head to right now is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting scholar Todd Prinz wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2. There's no G and no space. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. I wouldn't recommend doing that right now. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. Keep it coming. You can send your feedback to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
Can you remind me one more time what the guy in the Tour de France was fined for? Do you have that phrase?
Unseemly or inappropriate behavior during the race and damage to the image of the sport.
Okay. He got fined for kissing his own wife. The reason why it's a little shocking is the one thing the Tour de France doesn't have on its course. I talked about it's a 5-hour, it could be 4 or 5 hour days. The one thing they don't have on their course anywhere are porta potties. Okay. There's no porta potties. There's some at the start and some at the end. What do riders do during the race? There are places on every day where the peloton sort of eases up a little bit. And you will, if you're watching the coverage, you will notice bike riders just going over to the side of the road and stopping. And you're thinking, what? Do they have a flat tire or whatever? No. That's a nature calls break. They pull over to the side of the road, but not necessarily off the road, just to the side of the road and take care of business. That is, unless it is during a time when the peloton isn't slowing down, and it is known that some people will take care of business without stopping the bike. And if you watch coverage, what you'll see is like from the helicopter shot, you'll start seeing guys all pulling over to the side of the road, and then you start seeing them pulling other things down, and then the camera zooms up to the sky or to a French chateau. So
look at that scenery.
So 199 guys in Lycra shorts, all pulling over to the side of the road, dropping trow and peeing on the side of the road in front of cameras and spectators is perfectly fine. But swear to God, you kiss your wife one time and we're coming for you, buddy. We can't think of the children. They can't see that crap. Welcome to France.
Oh my God. Sounds like the tour has some cleaning up to do. We probably will too. We'll be back next week. We're here. We're talking to Todd. Out of curiosity, with all of this talk about copyright, when you paid for the licensing rights for Happy Boy, was
Yes.
that in perpetuity? Or do we
No.
owe somebody money?
No, it wasn't in perpetuity. It was in euros.